Welcome, everyone. It's Kathryn Lovewell here for our wonderful circles of compassion. How are you being today? How is your being? You may like to just take a moment to really ask yourself that question. How is this one? Loving these beautiful welcomes and hellos from people around the world. And of course, if you're brand new to our circle of practice, and a massive, huge, gorgeous, arms outstretched welcome to you. You are in very good company. It is lovely to see your faces. Maybe just your names or some beautiful image on the screen that is your little representation of you in this moment. Know that you are deeply welcome here. And it's just lovely to read some of the messages pouring in of friendship and kindness and welcome. Such a lovely message. Thank you, Becky. Monday morning is better with all of you. And Kathryn, that warms my heart. Here we are all together. And you may notice, those of you that hang out with me on a Monday morning, I'm not in my usual spot. I've just done a quick 180 to where I've, where shall I sit so that the light's just right for you? I'm in beautiful Wales at the moment in this most extraordinary, gorgeous converted barn with some dear friends. I did bring, I brought some of my birthday flowers with me. I had to have a whole bucket. It was lovely. So there's so much. It's really interesting. There's so much I want to share with you today. And I'm watching all of me just softening just by being in your presence. So let's just take a moment to soften, and then I'll share a few of my ahas today as I've been reading a little bit more of the wonderful Self-Compassion for Dummies by Steve Hickman. So for now, maybe just closing the eyes if that feels good for you. Enjoying a deep, easy breath. Perhaps noticing the cleansing quality as you breathe in. And that soothing, relaxing quality as you breathe out. Perhaps placing a hand on your body somewhere that you receive comfort from this tactile gesture. And you know there's nothing you need to do. There really isn't. You can simply rest here. And welcome yourself home. Maybe offering yourself a little smile if that feels delightful for you, even if it's a tiny curving of the edges of your mouth upward to the sky. Hello, dear friend. Hello, precious one. Welcome home. And letting yourself settle in this welcome. And if you'd like to, you can return with a soft, maybe wide open gaze. Or you can keep your eyes closed as I'm going to share a few reflections. I've been preparing for our book club and we're studying Steve Hickman's Self-Compassion for Dummies. And we've been exploring, we're over halfway now. And we've been looking at transforming challenging relationships. And of course, we know that one of the most extraordinary blessings of being human is our relational experience. And of course, similarly, in parallel, one of the most challenging aspects of being really fully human is being in relation to other humans. And so there's so much I want to share. It's a huge chapter. I do highly recommend this book. It's brilliant. But one of my most biggest revelations, I think, when I first began my self-compassion journey was to what I describe as putting the pickaxe down. So if you've ever seen my little book of self-compassion, it's just a little pocket book of self-compassion, encapsulating what I've learned over the years. There's a beautiful illustration of me, well, a woman with a pickaxe, and there's this huge iceberg, and she's whacking and hitting and trying to get through to her beautiful heart frozen inside. And self-compassion has shown me that I don't need the pickaxe. I don't need to hack away with force and brutality and fierceness of aggressive desire to fix myself. All of this changed. And Steve reminded me this wonderful phrase, melting, not mining. Just let that sink in. Melting, not mining. It's that simple. Now, if you're anything like me and you have impatience as part of your personality, then I wanted to get to my heart and fix everything and sort it out yesterday. but slowly, as we know, with warmth, with gentleness, with compassion and kindness, we can melt the biggest iceberg. And of course, it's so much gentler. There's no bits of ice flicking in your face. It's just a lovely puddle eventually. And there's my heart. There's our heart. Gently thawed over time. And so I really wanted to, I'm quite a visual person, so I really wanted to sort of give you that visual. If there is struggle at the moment, if there is difficulty in any form, mind, body, heart, then instead of picking up the axe or shovel or whatever implement you feel like you need to force your way to sort it out, what if you just put all of those tools down and enjoyed an open-palmed experience, maybe letting them rest on your heart, maybe gently soothing your body, to melt whatever's here, just as you would hold maybe a frightened kitten or puppy with such tenderness. And this chapter talks a lot about the strong, hard emotions like anger. And we know beneath them is a softer, more vulnerable emotion, and beneath that is, of course, an unmet need. And can we hold any of our wounded parts with this tenderness so that any of that hardness, maybe resentment, frustration, all those hard emotions, they can just gently melt in your patient, loving arms. Melting, not mining. That is my message for you today, dear friends. If you find yourself efforting, fighting against, forcing, struggling, trying really hard. I'm a girl that's tried really hard all my life. And I'm still a work in progress. But I do know that when I soften, do my best to let go and bring warmth to whatever's here, I'm more likely to rest in a place of compassion and soothe myself with kindness. So let's do that now, shall we? I hope that's been helpful. As I say, there's so much here. But for now, I'll just pop that beautiful book down. So let's get comfy, my friends. Let's get comfy. Notice what you need. Maybe a little sip of tea, like Diane. It's a good idea. Sip of water. Cheers, everyone. And again, there's nothing you need to do. I really would love you to leave today knowing that you can let the warmth of your own heart melt whatever difficulty is here. I was teaching Keeping Your Practice Alive yesterday, and one of my graduates was really struggling with the material, didn't really fully understand, and it was really difficult for them. And I said, just being here is enough. It's enough. So I wonder if you can hold yourself, knowing that your loving, compassionate intention to practice today is enough. You don't have to prove anything to yourself or anyone else. So let us soften, allowing ourselves to gently melt in our warm embrace. And giving yourself what you need. And I really like several deep cleansing breaths. Giving that to yourself. If that's delightful for you. You may like to wiggle your toes or your bottom to really feel yourself fully connected to the earth, to the floor, the chair, the bed. And the invitation is to put down all of your techniques, your tools, your coping mechanisms. If it feels safe for you, if it feels right tonight, today. And just allow yourself to be held in this moment, in this circle of compassion. Where being you is enough. Just being here is enough. There is nothing you need to do. No activity or action required. No striving or reaching to achieve anything. Simply the willingness to be here now. And if this feels difficult, if it feels like the mind's got really busy, maybe the body is fidgety, let this be okay. Busy mind is here. Body fidgets are here. I wonder, can I rest in this moment with these sensations and experiences? And if it feels helpful, you may like to draw your attention to your kind intention. Perhaps feeling the warmth of your own hands on your heart. Melting, not mining. Perhaps resting in your awareness of the rhythm of your breathing. Just this. And if there is resistance to this moment, or whatever's arising, I wonder, can you bring just a little bit of warmth and friendliness, compassion to this difficulty? Maybe a sensation in the body you'd rather not have. Perhaps an ache in the heart that you wish would go away. Or thoughts that are reactive or disturbing. This being fully human can be challenging. Can we let go of the need to get it right, to prove ourselves worthy or successful by whatever means we're measuring, and simply return to your loving intention. Hello, dear one. I love you and I wish you joy and peace. Finding your way to gently melt and not mine. Melting anything that may be covering up the warmth and generosity of your own precious heart. And if distraction has arisen, maybe judgmental thoughts, those cheeky thoughts, wonder, can you greet them with the same willingness and love that you would greet a dear friend? With warmth and kindness and so much love. Come in from the cold. Rest with me. Returning to your loving, kind intentions, just to be here now with compassion. Releasing all expectation, projections, judgments, separations, as best we can. Melting, not mining. Simply returning again and again to this warmth, this loving, kind embrace. This is enough. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Gently melting, not mining. And the door to your own precious heart will be revealed in the perfect time, in just the right way for you. And simply allowing yourself to be just as you are, just for now, whatever that is. As you reflect on your practice, notice what's here, how you be. And in your own time and space, whenever you're ready, you can gently and softly open your eyes, have a wiggle and a stretch, and return to the group if you would like to. Oh, maybe have a lovely yawn. And a stretch. Welcoming your reflections, noticing what's here. Maybe any insights or ahas would like to be shared. Pam's written, may I learn to allow melting. May the suggestion to abandon striving be a seed that finds fertile ground in me. How beautiful, perfect for spring. Our first day of spring today, officially, apparently. Oh yes, Kathryn, just showing up here in this group is good enough for our mind, body, spirit life of calmness. Lovely. And so if anyone would like to share, please do feel free to unmute. We have lots of time to reflect on melting, not mining. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, so thanks so much for the meditation. So I really enjoyed it. So when you mentioned the X, I have certain image come to me. Like we have an image of a different expectation. We expect ourselves to be a certain image, and we think other people expect us to be a certain image, and we carved ourselves, use the X to carve ourselves to fit that image. And in the carving process, we actually losing part of ourselves, and we have a lot of things that make us hurtful.
Because
that carving it, we want the cover so to fit that certain image that may not be us. And then I have this image of being water. Water we can fit into a different container, even a bottle, a cup, a pot. You can fit into different container, but the water itself never change. You can even be ice, or it can be gas, but water is water, even though it might fit into a different container. So rather than cover ourselves into that image, we can just be ourselves to be that water. And when you do the meditations, I thought about the pebble meditation, taught by Thich Nhat Hanh. So you just be a pebble, you're sitting in the bottom of that lake, things happening are around you, but then you don't judge, you're just being caressed by the wave of life going through you, but you're the pebble sitting at the bottom of that lake. So that would come to me during that meditation. So I really enjoy that process, being that pebble sitting in the bottom of that lake, and also think of myself just being water. So whatever shape you want me to be, I can be in that shape, but I am myself. I don't want to carve myself to fit that expectation of that image. Thank you. That's what I want to share.
That's so beautiful. Thank you, Ki. I hope I'm saying your name right. Just magical. There's so much richness in that. What an amazing experience. And I think your first point around, gosh, we carve ourselves out. We should look a particular way. We should wear particular clothes. We should move our bodies even in a particular way in different settings. What's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And it's so interesting, yeah. I hear you chipping away at parts of ourselves that maybe we'd like to keep. Maybe actually is a representation of who we really are, and we cover it up or try and hide it. Yeah, I love the idea of being water, fluid. Doesn't matter what environment we're in. It's such a great reminder. We can still be this that is what we understand to be ourselves. And we may be in a city, and then I'm finding myself, I'm surrounded by beautiful Welsh countryside right now. And still, here I am. This is me. And of course, that wonderful opportunity to allow ourselves to be more flexible, fluid. Yeah, no matter what our container. And I think labels could be a container, couldn't they? The roles we play, friend, brother, sister, son, father, daughter, all of those, teacher or colleague, whatever, neighbor, whatever labels we identify with, they too can be constricting, restricting. But if we could just allow ourselves to mold like water and flow. Oh, I'm going to carry that with me. Thank you, Ki. Absolutely gorgeous. And ultimately, can we be that still pebble, just dropping?
Yeah, so there's a teaching by Lao Tzu. How do you call it? The Taoist teaching. And there's a word that the superior virtue is being water.
Oh.
That's the most superb, or the most superior virtue is being water. So that's a Taoist teaching.
Oh, amazing. I love it. That fits so beautifully with our melting today. So we can move from our iceberg to just that beautiful fluid water. I think I might do a little bit more research. Please do pop any of that information in the chat. That would be fascinating to learn more. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. I love learning from you guys. Amazing. Oh, hopefully that's nourished you as well, as much as the practice. And I'm just checking these messages, if there's anything Anything else that would like? Oh, yes, beautiful. So I'm just catching one question about the links that lead to unmet needs. So if you, well, in this book or in the course, you can find it, but ultimately we have hard emotions like anger. That's the nice strongest one. Underneath that, we have those more vulnerable emotions, maybe feeling hurt or saddened or lost. And then underneath those, if we keep looking, it's like, there's a need here that's not been met. No one's listening to me right now. I have not been heard. Or maybe I'm thinking of the teenagers I used to teach a lot of. They'd come in and they'd be crashing around and slamming doors, and there'd be fury there. Underneath it was clearly they were hurting. Something had happened, but usually, well, always underneath that, maybe they'd felt disrespected, unacknowledged. So those real core needs we have. Ultimately, our need to be loved. That number one human need. I hope that's helpful for you that was asking for that. Oh, my friends, I can't believe it. We're at the top of the time. As always, I could sit here and chat with you all day. Maybe one day we'll just all have a tea party together and talk and talk and talk. It feels like that sometimes, just a wonderful opportunity to be together. Wishing you a beautiful day. If you have a lot, much of the day remaining, or a lovely evening, maybe a beautiful sleep. I'm with you, and I'll see you very soon. Take good care. Thanks for being here. Lots of love.
Thank you, Kathryn.
Thank you,
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Renee. Bye,
Thank
Heather.
you.
Bye, Renee.
Bye,
Mary.
Jenny.
Bye,
Bye, Teresa and
Kathryn,
Russ.
Andrea.
Bye.
Bye, Heidi.